Okay, we're doing a podcast today. I'm with
Jeremy Thomas.
Rodolfo Suarez,
Emilio Lozano.
Emilio Lozano.
Yeah, Lozano.
Lozano. Okay. We're doing the podcast. We're talking about the Game of Thrones. So spoilers, just FYI. We're talking about the final fight at Game of Thrones and the and the Endgame fight. We're gonna talk about it. Just debate kind of. See what we all think about it. So I guess you want to start.
Yeah, okay. So, Game of Thrones, the last episode, there's a lot I have to say about it. On a story standpoint, I still enjoy the show. I feel like they're just doing spectacle over story now. But basically, this last episode is not the best battle scene. There are so many great battle scenes in this show. This was very disappointing, especially for, the last season. It's basically Helm's Deep, just really dark.
Okay. And
You can go first.
okay, well, I really like the Endgame fight, but I mean, if it has to be, I will defend the Game of Thrones. I will say positive things and negative things, and I guess I will say the positive thing about Game of Thrones is I guess they were very realistic about it. The fact that it was very dark, the fact that it was in real life the actors wouldn't be able to see, so I guess the cinematography would make sense that they couldn't see. So it was very realistic versus Endgame where it wasn't very realistic.
Just reality doesn't make any sense.
I agree with it though. The darkness part.
So the darkness was really good. I mean, it also added to the tension of the fact that you couldn't see. All you heard was if you're in a battlefield, you don't see anything. It's scary. Like, you can't see your friends, and all you hear is them dying. So that's scary.
Overall, I guess I felt like season 3 with Robb Stark and his death. I kind of felt the same way about the Night King.
Wasn't that season 1? Season 1 where he dies?
No, Robb Stark.
Robb Stark.
Yeah, Robb Stark. Yeah, when he dies, at the Red Wedding.
Yeah,
I felt like that. I felt like that. This war, in the sense where I was just everything was crazy. My reaction was fucking gnarly because I was pretty. So I was drinking a little bit, right? I'll just say that. So I was really emotional, right? But seeing the Night King die, I couldn't believe it. So now,
you felt sorry for the Night King?
Not sorry, just more like.
Oh, so that was the best part. Arya, that's how you make a strong female character. Have a whole entire a bunch of seasons where you see this character learn by trial and error to become a badass. So her killing the Night King, I felt that was really earned.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I just feel like it felt too soon.
Night King dying?
I guess, yeah. I guess it felt like. Don't get me wrong, Arya's so worthy. It was all great. It just felt like there's something there. You know what I mean? Like Bran, he was warging the whole entire war.
Oh yeah, what was Bran doing?
What was he doing?
Okay, I agree. At least we can all agree on Bran.
And then he wakes up and the Night King's right there, and then they just kind of have a love stare at each other.
There's all these theories. I guess people get disappointed. A lot of people are maybe Bran is the Night King. I gotta say, Arya killing the Night King, total win for Arya. But the Night King, this big bad that has been building up for a bunch of seasons, just to see just the symbolism of death just die so easily. It felt.
Well, if he is,
I feel like this season's rushed. They have to end a bunch of stuff. I bet you George R. Martin, the creator of the books. I would like to see his conclusion of what he's going to do, because I felt like everything's going very, I don't know.
Like pop culture.
Yeah, everything's getting a lot more big, a lot more mainstream. We have to please a specific audience. We cannot kill. Because what made the show special is that anybody could die at any second. So this series has been playing it safe. They kill off characters nobody really cares about. I did not care about Sir Friendzone. I forget what his name is.
Jorah.
Yeah, Jorah is we saw that coming.
I did, but I mean, I cared.
Yeah.
I did. I cared about everybody's death. I really did. It was just. It's like I told you. Do you remember how you felt about the Red Wedding? The show's great, but you're but why am I watching this?
Those are key characters. Those are important characters. You're seeing a love. You did not see that coming. That was a punch in the gut. These deaths, Theon. Does anybody give a crap? Theon. I like with you on his redemption's cool. I mean,
Yeah, I really
Dude,
like
I
Theon.
kid you not, I was
But-
crying just saying like I forgive you the whole
I know, I
time.
forgive you.
Yeah, I was like I forgive you.
And plus, he lost his wang, so. I actually don't think I didn't really like the fact that she killed the Night King. I'm gonna go against you guys on that. I thought it should have been Jon Snow, the Aegon Targaryen.
They kind of built it that
They
way.
built it that way. It was like, dude, that's what we've been expecting this
But-
whole time. It was like,
This is exactly what I'm saying about the Red Wedding. They built it like Rob was gonna redeem Ned Stark, and then he fucking dies.
okay, I guess I
That's
can
how
see
I
it.
felt too. You know, is all that I'm saying. But I liked it, but I didn't.
I just feel like if like
Sorry for cutting you off.
yeah, the reason why I think I didn't like it that it was her is the fact that they kind of made her like, okay, like if she would have been like a badass until that point, then I would have been like, okay, I expected because it's been earned. It's kind of like this arc for her, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they show this whole like zombie scene with her where she can't even get away from the zombies, and then she can't even protect herself. They put her in that little room. And I mean, she's having trouble with little zombies. And then how the hell did she get from there past the dragons, past the zombies, and then like the king barely catches her, and like he has to specifically grab her with two hands, and he didn't kill her. He holds on to her there for like a good 2 seconds, and then she does the cool little knife trick that's like they like built up to. Like, so she does a trick, and then she like stabs him, and it's like, oh no, and it's like it just felt too. How do you say it? It
Convenient.
felt convenient, yeah.
Right.
It just felt too convenient. I didn't feel it was earned. So that's why I would say I don't feel like it was earned. Where Jon Snow, I feel like it would have been cool if, you
What if
know,
that was on purpose though? What if it made oh fuck.
like look at
Like what if it made you want to feel that?
like
You know what I
yeah
mean?
yeah.
Like, what if it?
Well, then they I mean that's how I felt with the Last Jedi. I mean I feel like I fucking hated it. So yeah.
Hey,
if that's what they wanted to get out of me, then yeah,
They like
that's
to
exactly
upset
how I
us.
felt.
They like to upset you.
I mean, no, I agree. Like, to me, I mean, what makes this different from, you know, like the recent Star Wars, Rey has become like a Jedi Master within 5 minutes of knowing what the Force is. You know, that's my problem with her character. I think she's a really great character. It's just that, you know, watching a bunch of other Star Wars movies, it takes a lot of training to become a Jedi. Rey is already a Jedi with, like, zero training.
So it wasn't earned.
Yeah, no, it
Okay.
wasn't earned.
So with what I was trying to say is like, okay, so imagine, I mean, if they wanted to do a twist, and I would have agreed with it, is like, let's say Jon Snow, let's say the zombies move because the Night King is just so like he knows he's gonna kill Jon Snow, and then Jon Snow is like fighting him, and like you know he's getting his ass beat, but you know Jon Snow is Jon Snow, so he's like taking it, and then he's right there, he's on his knees, and the king is about to kill him, and then out of nowhere, then if Arya would have came out and you know done her little her little move, then it would have been like, oh, that would have been like out of nowhere. Then I would have accepted it as like, okay, you know, it should have been Jon Snow, but since he was gonna get his ass beat, then sure. Or if they would have killed Jon Snow, I don't care. I mean, it would have been like his story arc. You know what I mean? Like he was supposed to be the killer of the Night King. But now they're trying. I mean, what even pisses me off more is the fact that like now it's gonna be Cersei. Cersei's like the new baddie. I mean, Cersei's never been like that.
always been the bad
She's
guy.
never been that much of a threat to me. Like in my mind, she's been annoying. She's been stupid and she like creates problems. But she's never been like, dude, literally the beginning of Game of Thrones was like, winter is coming. Like, you know, like, dude, was the thing. And now, like, we got 3 more episodes.
So that's the big question. Do you guys think the Night King's dead?
Yeah, he died.
He's dead? You don't think anybody else can become the Night King at all?
I think what they're going to try and do is like, they're going to do, I mean, spoilers on spoilers if I'm right. I think because I think there was a scene in last season where the doctor here, like scientist guy, actually picks up the hand and he like kind of hides it. So I know since he already created freaking the mountain as a zombie, he's gonna try and create these zombie dead things, and it's gonna create a horde, and it's gonna be the new like she's gonna be the new Night King, and it's gonna be like you ain't no Night King, you Cersei, you stupid, you make problems. That's all you do.
If they turn the mountain into like a perfect White Walker. Like
Yeah.
what the children of the forest wanted.
Oh,
Imagine Cersei does.
yeah. Well, I mean that would kind of create tension, but it just I don't know. It just isn't enough.
I think that's too much.
I don't get
the Night King had a dragon. The Night
That's
King
crazy.
was like ready to go. I mean, dude, he was dodging stuff. They set him on fire. He didn't even die. Like, dude, this guy was supposed to be like the main villain, and I just don't. I don't feel like it was earned. That's what I just don't feel it was earned.
No, I feel like Arya's character was earned, but like the way how the Night King died, it felt like they rushed it. We have to figure out, and like I said, it's convenient how Arya just completely. She was from this area, and somehow she made it all the way to the forest. I mean, I would like to see how she made it all the way over there. It's just that she just
hid in a tree or something.
Or she could have been like a White Walker. She could have the face thing that she does. I don't know, man.
I mean, how is she gonna? I mean, she'll disguise herself as a zombie all along. But it's like, we have to make all this stuff up in our head. It's like, I mean, I get it. They have to conclude this show one way or another. But there's all this stuff that we just have to take. We just have to take it all in and accept it. A lot of convenience.
And it's still not even over. It's still 3 episodes.
And also the Targaryens, like that big moment with the Dothraki. What the fuck was their plan? Like, you guys are talking about the show being realistic. Like, tactic wise, I was watching this with my cousin, and he would point out, like, on a tactical scale, because studying history and all this shit, this is like the stupidest strategy ever.
Dude,
the Dothraki
they
just charge into the dark.
The same shit.
And Daenerys is there with the dragons. Like, the dragons are there. Why don't they just light the whole fucking place up? They're just there waiting for the Dothraki to die.
Because of the convenience. They need to build up tension of the fact that, like, oh wow, these zombies are like, these guys aren't playing around.
They needed to waste.
They
25 minutes.
They need to
25 minutes.
They need to waste 25 minutes with not being able to see, so that it would be.
I didn't have a problem with that.
I had a problem.
I didn't.
I was like, the whole time I was like, what is going on here? I was like, all I heard was like,
you gotta have a certain TV to view it the way they want.
Also, who should have died? I forget there's another dickless guy here, but this dickless guy, one of the slaves.
Varys.
Varys.
No, what's his name? Longworm or something. Black worm, gray worm.
Milkworm. Nah.
I was expecting him to, you see, like I thought he was gonna die because they built up in the previous episode like how him and his like lover are gonna go out on this like happy journey, that happy ending. I'm pretty sure he's gonna die because when you see characters saying, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" Like in season 3 when Rob and his wife are like, "Oh, your kid is growing," and they're talking about this future. Something tragic is going to happen. So I feel like they're going to die, but I felt like, if you want to put some emotion, I thought he was probably going to die. And it looked like he was going to die, but he didn't. Sam is just there looking all fucking like he doesn't know what he's doing. John passes him. I got to say, what the fuck, John? Like, your best friend is right there, and he's just like, fuck it.
Oh, and the fact that he didn't even die, Sam was like, dude, the plot armor all around Sam not dying is ridiculous. Anyways, let's move on to Avengers. We're gonna need to be critical about both. Like, okay, what are you were positive or negative with Avengers the fight?
The fight.
Which fight?
The final fight.
The final fight. I only have some minor complaints with it, but for the most part, what did
they get right over Game of Thrones?
What did they get right? Lighting. You can see. Okay,
here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing with battle scenes. In the last Avengers film, Avengers: Infinity War, the whole battle is shot in broad daylight. It looks like shit. It looks like a shitty fight because you can just tell all the green screen and the special effects. Some of it looks a little shitty. It looks ugly in my opinion. And here they learn from watching Zack Snyder movies. You have to shoot in dark, cloudy light. Everything looks way more better. And I believe they saved all their money for this battle scene because a few of the CG in the previous Marvel films, even Captain Marvel, it looks horrible. But it looks like they saved all their money to making like the most epic battle scene ever. I do have some minor problems, but for the most part, very satisfying. Especially the way how they just keep building it and building it and building it. I'll get into more detail after you guys share your opinion.
The final fight.
The Avengers Endgame.
Loved it.
No complaints. All positive.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you got to put yourself there. You got to put yourself to the physics that they made up for their universe.
Okay, fine.
That's their physics.
We
already know a fucking laser beam coming out of Iron Man's hand is fake. We've already opened ourselves to that.
Whoa, you are breaking my world right now. It's fake.
I mean, like a guy is flying and falling around in the his body.
They're not flying. Are you serious?
Okay. Like See, like no, like in Game of Thrones, they're breaking all their rules. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, we've seen they established their rules. I can suspend my disbelief with this one. I even have problems with the time travel, but that being said, I can suspend. They make their own rules that this time travel is completely different compared to other time travel.
Everybody makes their own rules with time travel because it's not real.
Yeah. Or the fact that Thanos can literally come in and he knows English. And all the aliens know English.
Exactly, all that, you know? And it's because we've
accepted it.
Humanized,
we've accepted it.
and done all that. So just leave your mind open to it. That's the world that they created.
Okay,
so
for
over 10 years.
Yeah, if you guys accept it, or you guys are all about it, I guess I'll go against it. I thought it was like... I loved it, but at the same time, it was like, dude, a lot of that was just fan service. Like, come on, like Captain America getting the Thor hammer.
Okay, all right.
Like,
have to stop
the way they were just, it was just ridiculous. The fact that they had to be like, the Iron Gauntlet or the Infinity Gauntlet fails, like it falls, right? Like they're doing this, Captain Marvel like takes a hit from whatever, and then like the Infinity Gauntlet falls, and it's like. Iron Man just happens to be the one that's right next to it. Like, oh, it's so convenient. So the fact that it's just there, he tries to get it, and then, what is it? I think Thanos grabs it, and then Iron Man grabs the jewels or whatever. He grabs the Infinity Stones, and then he, like, does a snap. And it was funny. I thought it was actually genuinely funny because he's like, I am inevitable. And it was such a great one-liner. And then nothing happened. I thought that was hilarious. But it was just too convenient. Like, it felt like... They were just like, oh, we need to do this big-ass fight. And we're just going to have Iron Man, kick ass. Like, he needs to be the one, and which makes sense.
He sacrificed himself. Like I said, convenience. Doctor Strange, in Doctor Strange could just use his portal and chop Thanos' hand off.
Yeah.
Thor could have chopped his hand off. I get all that, but like I said, I don't know why I excuse myself. It's like I've been on this journey with these characters. But I wouldn't say it's convenient. Yeah, it is, but like it's not fucking perfect. But like I'm satisfied from emotionally. It's like this battle scene is awesome. There's a bunch of cool moments action wise, and yeah, you could say it's fan service. But it's like if they don't do it, are you gonna complain? Because then you look at something like The Last Jedi, where it's not fan service and everybody's pissed off. They decided to please everybody, and come on. Yeah, it's fan service, but it's fucking awesome.
The way I look at it is. It's kind of hard because I'm not on the opposite side this time because Endgame and Infinity War are just so different
than
every other Marvel movie. So I like that. Mm-hmm. That feels like that's the way it should have been all the time, right? But you also gotta remember besides Infinity War, what other movie is better than Endgame? What other Marvel movie?
What other Marvel movie? Dude, that's...
Well, I don't know. I really liked a lot of them. Like, there's
that's part of that universe.
The Guardian of the Galaxies was really good.
Like, I love
Guardians of the Galaxy did it
World,
perfect.
but that's a completely... Like, Endgame, they all work for... You said these are all different movies, and therefore, they're all different movies. It's really hard to compare them. Like, it really is like...
It is, but it's
like
all
this
part
movie,
of the same universe,
And also, it's telling one big story,
characters. You can have favorite movies.
That's also the thing. Like, when you have characters, you can have, let's say, the best Captain Marvel movie ever. I just don't like Captain Marvel. So it's like, it doesn't matter how great that movie is. There's possibility to change.
The cinematic Captain Marvel, you just never like her in the comics?
Well, I kind of never liked her in the comics, and I don't like her in the movies. And I also don't like Brie Larson. I think she's hot, but I don't know. She just doesn't feel like a Captain Marvel. And then I already don't like Captain Marvel, so it's kind of like, nah. I didn't even, like,
it felt like any other Marvel movie.
Really?
Captain Marvel?
Yeah, all of them.
To me, this felt like a special movie. And Infinity War felt like a...
It was a special movie.
Well, it is a special movie. This movie is like it's called Endgame because it's an ending to this saga of the universe. Like, I'm looking forward to all the other Marvel movies, but really, they could just end it right here.
Yeah.
They cannot really top themselves. They can. They can make these movies.
It's the Russo brothers, okay?
These movies have problems.
If it's still then.
Oh, yeah.
These movies do have problems, but I don't give a shit. I go there they get the characters right, and they get action. Like, this whole movie, I loved it because it's like 2 hours of character development. You look at, Tony and Cap, finally resolving their issues. They're like, hey, fuck our what our BFF breakup. Let's just fucking get everybody together. I loved that. I love the jokes around Ant-Man, how they're like picking on Ant-Man like he's like a nobody, but in the end, like he becomes Giant Man and he saves.
Well,
he's the only one to save like Hulk
and Rocket.
I mean, he's also the reason why they got into the
Oh yeah, he's the reason.
Phantom Zone. I was gonna say Phantom Zone. The Quantum Realm.
Quantum Realm,
Yeah. You know, he's the reason.
Who was wait? But the real
rat.
hero,
The
the
rat.
real hero
Wait, here's
was
the thing.
Ratman,
The rat.
little rat.
Oh yeah, that
That's
is
the true
fucking convenient as hell. Fucking rat.
Dude,
convenient.
I mean, it only took 5 years.
That's-
though.
That's
Fire-
Marvel humor, though.
And
That's
they acknowledge
definition
it.
of Marvel humor.
Yeah, because it's the mouse. The mouse is what
Yeah.
saved Marvel.
and they
Disney.
acknowledge
Well, not
it.
Marvel, but
And they acknowledge
Well,
it. You know, Tony Stark in the movie is like, you survived by like 1,000,000,000 fucking miracle chance. They fucking acknowledge it. So they acknowledge, they know how to acknowledge the conveniences. They know how to explain.
You know what my theory is? You know why they had to kill? Because Black Widow dies in this movie. Just FYI. I mean, we said spoilers in the beginning, so whatever.
why they had to kill her?
The reason why Black Widow had to die, I know the real reason. Check this out. Because they already had a Spider Man. You like that or no? No? Black Widow, Spider? No? Okay. Well, I thought that was good. I thought it was really
It was
fun.
alright.
Well, anyways, let me see. Endgame.
Fair.
I really did like Endgame. I mean, it felt like a little too much fan service. I mean, I did like it a lot. I like the fan service because I mean, it's 10 years. I get it, but
Please your
but-
eyes. Give the people what they want.
But the one thing I will say that I thought was so funny, like I actually laughed. I thought it was supposed to be a serious moment, and I thought it was so hilarious. I literally laughed in the theater. Was the everybody's fighting, and I don't know what happens, and suddenly there's like all the female superheroes.
that felt Forrest.
They were like they all get together, and it's like they all start walking in slow motion, and I'm all like, what the hell? Like I literally started laughing because it just felt so out of place. I mean, I just felt like it just, not that it wasn't needed, but it was like too forced. Like if it would have just happened to been like the camera would have been panning and then shown them all like fighting or doing something separately, then it would have made sense. But it just felt like, oh, they all got in this one little area and it's just they're walking in slow motion. I just thought it was hilarious. But
I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't slow. I mean, I get what you mean. I gotta say, I mean, a part of me, I kind of get it, and I do know there's like the A-Force team, like the all-female Avengers. So I felt like they were giving like, whoever are fans of that comic, they wanted to give it that moment. But I do see there's a lot of, I don't want to say like, I don't want to get into social justice warrior politics, but a part of it did feel forced, especially, what the fuck is Mantis doing there? Like, she just touches people and literally feels their feelings. What the fuck is she doing?
hey,
in that
I
battle?
can't do that.
And that's because
That's impressive.
She was actually used so well in Endgame when she was,
Infinity War.
Infinity War when she was taking care of Thanos. And also there was like that female moment in Endgame, not Endgame, fucking Infinity War, where you had Black Widow, you had Wanda. In fact, you had them teaming up in the beginning.
yeah.
That didn't feel forced. This felt a little forced because they had to get everybody. It's like you could just get Captain Marvel, you could get Wanda Maximoff. She's awesome. I love that character.
Yeah, she's really awesome. For somebody who doesn't have any powers, she's an awesome.
Like, I don't know,
character.
because like throughout these movies, they already have great female characters. I think Nebula is an awesome character. I think she is way more badass than Captain Marvel. You have all these interesting characters, and just to like give it like this moment, I mean, yeah, it felt a little okay. I guess whatever. It felt kind of
I thought it was
forced.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you
I mean,
guys.
hey, it
I think you guys are tripping. Yeah. No, yeah, for real. Because like, I
You're
mean,
tripping.
that was the point. I mean, like, whenever you have any type of ensemble, you always get that shot. You always get that Michael Bay shot. You know what I mean? Where it's still that walk and slow walk,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. You see it in Kill Bill.
Well, they did it in Avengers when they did the circle thing. They
but it wasn't all women.
Yeah.
Normally it is all men or the three main characters, whatever, right? This time they kind of earned it in a sense where you knew who all they were. You know who they were, all of them.
Well, I agree.
So they wanted it all in one shot.
Yeah.
You know,
They want the money shot.
there's nothing wrong with
But
that.
they all fucking appeared
They were-
conveniently. This battle is spread out everywhere. But
That's-
let's get convenient. I mean,
That's how you say goodbye, man.
That's how you say
And
goodbye.
but
say-
most of
you
these
say
characters
do
are
it-
returning.
Right now, you just said like give the people what they want. That's what they want.
Well, I will say,
I will agree with you there.
I will
Yeah.
say I mean, it was like what 5-10 seconds, so it's fine. Because I mean, the
Probably
whole movie
even
was
less,
like
yeah.
3. There was 3 hours. I'll give them 10
Yeah, it
seconds,
was like
whatever.
7 seconds.
So I mean, yeah, but I thought I just felt like a sore thumb. It just was so funny.
All right. Everything about the plot about the battle scene. I guess we're not talking about the plot so much. We're talking about the battles. I will say one minor thing. I loved everything about the battle. I mean, it was kind of perfect. It's probably one of the most like amazing scenes ever put in like a comic book film to top like any scene. Like in terms of action, in terms of spectacle, it was amazing. It was beautiful. But one thing I gotta say, I was disappointed that Hulk. He Captain Marvel had a moment with defeating Thanos. You had Iron Man, Tony, and Thor. They have this whole amazing scene where they're attacking Thanos. I gotta say I was disappointed because we saw Hulk got his ass beat in Infinity War. So I wanted a good payoff to see Mark Ruffalo embrace the Hulk and fucking attack Thanos. We never got that moment. He's just there in the battle, but we never really see him do much. So I felt how they took him away in Infinity War. They did not give him a decent payoff action wise. I love what they did with the character.
Yeah,
I like how they
he's
made
like
him.
Professor Hulk. I think.
Yeah, they knew how to embrace the comedic side of the Hulk, and they did it in a good way. I was just pissed that Thor got his moment with Thanos. Hulk never got his moment. So,
But you don't. I mean, what
But
if
he
they're
does
building?
do the
What if they're
snap.
what if they're building it up? What if they're building it up for future movies?
Thanos is dead.
No, I know, but like other future Marvel movies.
Like what? The Hulk doing more stuff?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think he's done.
you think it's done? Okay.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay. Well, let's.
His arm is all messed up.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. It's Gamma. He probably heals. No.
Maybe.
Boy, he's taking a long time to heal.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. What is it? Let's
Compared to DC movies?
let's compare. Okay, so let's say the.
Well, I gotta say, that's how you kill a character off. You build him up. All right. I gotta say, Batman v Superman. I don't know anything about Superman. He dies. I don't give a fuck. I know he's coming back to life. That's the thing. He's coming back. There's nothing emotional about it. In here, I hope they keep. I hope
In my
they.
heart, he hasn't come back. He
He hasn't come back?
He hasn't come back.
Wait, what?
He died.
There's a movie that comes out where he came
In
back.
my heart, there isn't a movie.
Not the real Superman.
Yeah, not the real Superman.
That Superman is dead.
Superman's still dead as far as I'm concerned.
That Superman is a
So you just
fake.
pretend like that Justice League movie never happened?
Yeah.
I mean, that movie is a fucking disaster.
Like it does, it exists, and that's another world. But I'm not gonna.
No, but what he's saying is that Superman died like the Superman he knew. Like this new Superman is a fake. No.
The Superman that we saw die is
In
still
Batman v
dead.
Superman.
Yeah, is still dead, is what I'm saying. In Justice League, I don't know if you guys, not to make this about, not to make this fucking podcast about this. I'm sorry. God damn it.
We'll talk about this later about DC versus Marvel.
No, we gotta do
Okay.
this again. We gotta do this.
Okay.
Real quick. But the movie that came out, the Justice League, did you guys see it?
Yeah.
That wasn't Zack Snyder's movie.
No, I agree. No, that's a completely
No, that wasn't
butchered
his
studio
movie.
film. That is Zack Snyder.
They were too much of it. Okay, we'll fight about this later. But let's.
You get what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, I
But
get what you
anyway,
mean.
yeah, compared to
Endgame.
let's talk about Man of Steel, Batman vs.
No, let's not even talk about Endgame
I mean,
versus Game of Thrones. Like, thinking about everything. Thinking about if you took away the lighting, and you took away
what payoff was better?
what payoff was better?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you can think about it as a film, not as a 10-year getting here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah, for real. Yeah, I get
What would you say?
I would say, well, no, in Marvel Endgame, it was a good payoff. It was a good conclusion to the characters, and it still left you wanting more, and you're gonna get more. Endgame, you can call it fan service, whatever. I mean, yeah, there are some little conveniences here and there, but in terms of a conclusion for Cap, for Tony, it was great. I like what they did with Thor. Getting. I mean, a lot of people are saying it, and I agree. It's like they took those epic panels from a comic book of like seeing all these superheroes from so many films. Hell, one thing I gotta say, the real Marvel universe started with Howard the Duck in 1986, a Marvel disaster. We are in 2019, and Howard the Duck is in this battle scene. So we've gone a long fucking way from comic book films, especially Marvel films. It's paid off. Game of Thrones, I don't go to watch spectacle. I go to watch characters, drama. Like if you go back and watch the very first seasons, it was all about, they skip battle scenes because they focus on the story. Now they take away story to go on spectacle, and I'm fine with that. But it was a disappointing battle scene. What can I say? Too dark.
As an overall, I love Avengers. I love Endgame. I love the story arc. I love everything about it. But I do love Game of Thrones more. I like that payoff more, especially because it's controversial. You know that's my favorite, in my opinion. Something that you can talk about forever.
Yeah,
for sure. Infinity War and Endgame you can talk about forever. Not so much the other movies. Can you talk about Avengers forever?
Yes.
I mean, we know
that's the one that started the whole thing. You would not have Endgame without Avengers.
Sure. But I mean,
and that's that's the payoff because that's where you see Tony and Cap who barely like each other. You learn how to respect them.
I was one of the few that didn't like Avengers.
I would say it's not a perfect movie, but it has its moments. I mean, they time travel because to the first Avengers movie because that's such an iconic film now.
Well, I will say I'm obviously gonna go with the Avengers, but I feel like what Game of Thrones was trying to do, they took a bigger risk than Avengers did. Because Avengers was like they knew what they were doing. Like they were just not taking too much risk. They were putting a bunch of fan service. They knew they were gonna get their battle. Versus Game of Thrones, I mean, they didn't know what was gonna happen. They didn't know how to formulate it because I mean, these are real people. It's not like
have an idea because the books aren't even there anymore.
Yeah, the books aren't even there. They're taking a huge leap of faith. So that's why I think, if anything, I would have to give it to Game of Thrones for that. Is the fact that they're willing to risk it. They're willing to use a lot of practical things. Like they're not just relying so much on CGI. Let's kill
off a bad guy.
Let's kill off bad guy. No, I mean, that's okay. I understand that, but they did do a lot of risk on the fact that if anything, they subverted our expectations. Because we expected big people to die and they didn't.
Here was what would have been a risk. Everybody should have died. Everybody should have died. The Night King kills everybody. Cersei becomes the actual hero of the damn show. That would have been a risk. And here, I mean, no major character. You have Jon Snow yelling at a dragon. Like, what the fuck is he doing? I gotta say, what?
Hey, I
was like, Endgame.
Do you have the balls to scream at a CGI dragon, sir? I don't think so.
I mean, I'm not saying just saying Jon Snow. What the fuck is he doing? I don't get the tag.
He was on Winterfell
Endgame,
for the whole fight.
He was
not doing anything.
I'm in terms of risk taking. Endgame, they fucking kill Thanos within the first 5 minutes, and you could say, oh, he comes back, but it's like they kill Thanos off, and they make everything's unpredictable about that film. I mean, I think everybody had their theories that they were going to use time travel, but could you see what was going to happen in this movie? No, I mean, with Game of Thrones, does anybody watch Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. No, we're just gonna be too long. Let's not even go through that.
Yeah, but
okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Like they took a bigger risk because they went through time travel and all that stuff. But I mean, if you think about it, you don't even need to see Avengers or all those other movies because you can just watch Endgame and then you see all of them.
But no, in here, I felt what was the risk that was taken? They kill the bad guy. Okay, Lord of the Rings, Helm's Deep.
Here's why.
But with zombies.
Here's why Avengers is the way that it is. Why people love it, and it's just because. They did it first. They made different types of movies for everybody to see, and then they put those characters together.
I'm talking about the battle. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about battle scenes and taking risks.
Yeah, the battle.
Yeah. Okay. My bad.
I mean, I'm gonna have to. Damn, I don't know, man, because I really do. I mean, if you think of everything, then the battle scene Avengers feels better. But at the same time, it's like the Game of Thrones battle scene. If you really think about it, if you separate it versus the Avengers, if you try and separate it. The payoff isn't there if you don't give the Avengers, the Endgame, all those movies. Versus the Game of Thrones, if you don't even if you don't have all that context before,
it's an hour-long war.
You see it as dude, that's a long fight. You saw it's a long fight. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I would give it to Game of Thrones. The only reson. But I mean, but yeah. So what we're voting. Okay, so voting
Game of Thrones.
Endgame. Okay, so yeah. We're gonna do more like these. If you guys want to stick around for future videos, just subscribe or so we can keep talking about this. We're gonna talk about DC and Marvel probably next time. So see you guys. What is Jeremy? We're with who?
Jeremy Thomas,
Rodolfo Suarez,
and Emilio Lozano.
And we're signing off. Bye.
See you.